friends. I hope you had a wonderful week and thank you for joining me today with this session of Emotional Café. Today, we're going to be talking about how to fully live our lives. And um, I want to imagine, let's play a game. Let's imagine that we are planning a family trip, maybe a family vacation, and we are already taking care of our flights and our connecting flights and the lodging and the places that we're going to visit and the car that we're going to rent. Let's imagine that we check the weather to make sure that we know exactly what kind of clothes to take with us. And let's put everything together, and that day finally comes and we are so excited. This is going to be the best vacation ever, or so we think. And all of a sudden our flight is delayed. We lose our connecting flight. We arrive 10 hours later. We arrive with no luggage. They tell us it's probably going to be 1 or 2 days before we can get our luggage back. We need to improvise and go to maybe one of those 24-hour centers to get toothbrush and hairbrush and the basics that we need. And we are so mad and so upset that we start feeling that this whole trip was a mistake. But aside what is going on, we go get the car and they give us an update on the car and they give us a better car, bigger, more comfortable, for a lower price than what we had in our budget and what we were expected to pay. We get to the lodging, we get to the hotel, and the people are so nice, they're so great, they treat us so well, and they're trying to accommodate us so much. Now think about it. This is a moment in which you need to choose what kind of attitude you're going to be having. Are you going to let all the setbacks from the beginning of your trip to decide that this is going to be your worst vacation ever? Or are you going to actually enjoy the rest of your trip regardless what happened and be able to enjoy the other accommodations and the other good things that are happening for you and your family? I wanted to bring this illustration because that's pretty much how life is. We plan, we make decisions, we decide what we're going to study, we choose a job or we apply for a job, we decide to get involved with someone and we start planning our life, and somehow things happen. There's some unforeseen events that come our way. There are things that we didn't expect to happen and that they hit us really hard. And that is a moment in which sometimes we feel that life is unjust, that life is unfair, that life is cruel, and that it's not fun anymore. And if we look at children, it's just amazing, their spirit and the kind of attitude they have. They have this exploring attitude and joyful attitude all the time. And as we grow older and we start facing life and seeing that regardless how much we plan, things will happen, we lose that spirit of feeling joyful inside, and we start feeling that burden of becoming adults and seeing life from a different perspective. But that's my question to you today. What is the perspective that we're going to have? Are we going to finally realize that life is an adventure and that we plan in advance, but things are going to happen and it will depend on us if we see them as learning experiences, if we face them and overcome those experiences, or if we're going to spend the rest of our lives feeling sorry for ourselves and feeling bad about things that happen to us. It is our choice how we live our lives, and it's just amazing how we get used to being upset or being unhappy. And that's why I wanted to share with you, because life is like a journey. It's something that, yeah, we get to plan, and yeah, we get to anticipate what we would like things to happen, but the truth is we got no control over everything that is going to happen, and we need to have that adventurous spirit that is going to help us overcome whenever something unexpected happens. I brought 3 attitudes that I think are the basic ones that we need to nurture in ourselves in order to have a different attitude towards the life that we are to face. And the first one is to fully enjoy, to have that attitude to enjoy, to make it a choice, to have as we wake up in the morning, that attitude that I am going to enjoy my day, that I'm going to go to work and I'm going to enjoy what I do, that I'm going to enjoy spending time with family and I'm going to enjoy my day. Because then when I have that attitude and things starting to happen that are not what I have planned or anticipated for the day, I will still have a much, much better attitude towards whatever happens than if I don't come up and face my day with a joyful attitude. So enjoying, it's very important for us to have in our minds in everything we do. The second attitude is to explore. We need to be willing to explore. And I know how hard it is whenever changes are starting to happening, whenever something is moving our floor, we refuse to move. We want to keep ourselves in our bubble, in our comfort zone. But the truth is that by exploring, we'll be open to new challenges, we'll be more open to changes, and we'll have that attitude that says, let's see what's going to happen. This is not what I planned, but maybe it's going to be for the best. Sometimes we refuse even if we know it's for our own best. And it's just amazing because we're just being reluctant to change. But when we have that attitude, let's see what happens. Let's explore it. You know what? Let me meet this person and see what happens. Let me go try this job and see if I like it. Let me do this differently and see what happens. That's the attitude. And finally, acceptance is the main attitude that we need to have, because we can whine and complain about things that happen in life. We can get mad and upset and we can throw a fist. But the truth is that life, it is the way it is. And we need to accept that things are going to happen that we didn't plan, that some things are going to be better, some things are not going to be better, that good things are going to happen, but also bad things get to happen. And life in life terms, it's not only about me. It is the way it is, and I have to accept it. And when I have acceptance, that means that I'm not going to stay and become a product, a result of my circumstances. But rather than that, I'm going to be able to see my circumstances and look from different perspectives and move around the situation and get whatever learning experience it has for me and move on. That's what acceptance is about. Sometimes people think that acceptance will mean that it's not going to hurt or that I'm happy about everything that happens, and that's wrong. Acceptance only means that regardless how much it hurts or how much pain it caused or how upset I was, I move on. I move forward. I don't stay there. I don't stay in the pain. But rather than that, I keep putting one foot in front of the other and move forward. That's what acceptance is really about. So I wanted to share with you 3 questions that I always ask the people in their personal and emotional growth process when I'm assisting them. And I want you to think about these questions, and I want you to think from your own perspective. And it has to do with who I am. Who am I? Who am I without drama in my life? Who am I when the conflict arises and I am able to minimize its impact, to avoid it from overcoming me to a point that I cannot deal with it and my emotions? Who am I without that drama in my life? Who am I if I don't allow anybody to come and bring drama into my life? Who am I? Who am I if I give myself permission to be happy? Yeah, permission to be happy. Because actually, we need to make the choice to be happy. It's a choice we make, regardless our circumstances, regardless the people in our lives, regardless what's going on. We usually have this distortion to think that happiness is a person or a place or something that I get to do or buy or accomplish. And actually, happiness is a choice we make. It's an attitude to be happy in spite of everything, to be happy no matter what. And that's the second question that I have. Who am I if I give myself permission to be happy? Because that would means that sometimes we get so used to being upset, being unhappy, blaming it on others, how unhappy we are. And it's just an excuse not to assume ourselves. But when I give myself permission to be happy, that means that I am going to do whatever it takes on my behalf to feel good and be happy in spite of what's going on around me. And you know what? Sometimes we don't want to do that because we like living in misery. We like the drama. We like blaming on others. We like others taking the responsibility of what we are feeling, so we have someone to blame on. Who am I if I give myself permission to be happy? And the final question is, who am I without my possessions, my belongings, without all the things I own? Who am I without what I do? It's sad, but sometimes that's what defines us. We think we are what we have. We think we are what we do. We think we are our profession or the kind of job we perform. And if we put all that aside, if you today don't have the chance to do what you've been doing as a mean of living, if you don't get to go to the job that you used to have, if you don't have any of the belongings, anything of the things that you own, who are you? Who am I when I have nothing and I don't get to do what I have usually done? Because that's a great question for ourselves to reflect on our lives and to reflect on how we are living our life. My dear friends, life is an adventure. We could plan as much as we want, but the truth is, things are going to happen that we didn't plan. Unexpected things are going to come our way. What is going to be the attitude that we're going to have? Are we going to throw a fist, be upset, be sad, and spend the rest of our lives complaining about it? Or are we going to have the adventure of exploring and, okay, let's move on. Let's see what else is ahead of me. Okay, this didn't turn out the way that I was planning, but let me see how I can change this. What did I learn from this experience? What am I going to do next? What kind of attitude are you going to have towards the adventure you have ahead of you? I hope this session helps you today, and I hope you start living and enjoying the adventure that your life is bringing along your path. I hope to see you next week, and enjoy.